Good morning and welcome back. Today I want to talk about something that all photographers use, and that is a bag, a camera bag. Now, there's always some type of compromise when choosing a bag, whether it's size or support or cup holders and tripod holders. There's always something. So that's why I think that the perfect bag just doesn't exist. But if you know of the perfect bag, please feel free to leave it in the comments and I will definitely check that out. But getting back to it, today I want to talk about some of the pretty standard bags within the industry, pretty common, like this Lowepro here that doesn't have a removable insert. It's just it's a stationary insert, as well as one like an F-Stop bag that does have those removable compartments. And I also want to talk about and go over the Tenba bring your own bag camera inserts that basically take a non-native camera bag and turn it into something that is capable of carrying your gear. So let's go over those and see which one may be right for you. Let's get into it. First up is the Lowepro Flipside 350, and I find it to be a great bag. Firstly though, I want to say that with all of these bags, I've done a fair amount of walking and hiking and exploring with them, so hopefully the feedback I give you is actually useful. I've kind of gone into detail with the footage a little bit, but that's just to show all of the ins and outs of each bag and how they kind of relate to one another. So anyways, let's jump into the Lowepro bag. So here it is. We'll turn around here. It's got your standard chest clip and hip belt and a hip pocket. It's a back opening bag, so it opens from the back only to the main compartment here. It's got an SD drive or an SD carrier there, and this is kind of the configuration that you can put your camera in. It's not overly spacious by any means, but there it is. You can fit a couple lenses and a body, and yeah, it's just right. Here's the straps. They're somewhat padded, and actually this bag is actually pretty comfortable. It comes with a rain cover here, but it's actually a really comfortable bag, and I find it so useful for street photography or urban photography or urbex or whatever. Just getting off the bus or wherever you want to go. It's really quick and easy, and it's not something that I've ever had to worry about as far as like getting my buckle stuck somewhere or anything like that. It's just a pretty slim, sleek bag that I've really enjoyed using, and definitely am happy that it's a part of my bag options when I'm about to go out and about. The front is fairly waterproof, water resistant. It's got those guys there, it's loops. This is the side where you can put your tripod. It's got some tripod buckles, and what I found really helpful in this is that the water, the beverage pouch there actually has canvas on the bottom, so your tripod legs can rest in there and not rip the mesh. So helpful. Next up is the F-Stop Lotus 32 liter, and I should say that the Lowepro bag is probably around 20 liters, so it's a bit smaller than this F-Stop bag. The Lowepro bag just doesn't have that much room for extra stuff like clothing or jackets or something. I mean, you could put stuff in there in a pinch, but it's definitely going to max out pretty easy, whereas the F-Stop bag definitely has the room. I've traveled with it quite a bit, and to put all kinds of extra stuff, jackets, pants, whatever it is that you want to carry. So that's great. This bag, the F-Stop bag, also has ICUs, or internal camera units, I think is what they're called. But basically little compartments that you can put your camera gear in, somewhat like the Tenba bring your own bag units, where you just put all your gear in and store it, and then you can remove it from the bag separately. So here we go. And there's one of the units, basically just a black thing. And there's the bag. The materials in this bag are great. I have to say that I have really been impressed with the materials so far. And the bag just feels really premium. I mean, you can see that layer there is waterproof. It's another back opening bag, so all the access is from the back. And you can get to it from the top, and we'll see that in a separate zipper here, but it does have SD compartments. And this is the biggest problem I have with this bag. Their ICU, this is the medium shallow, and it does not quite fit in there. And you'll see when you're trying to get to your stuff rather quickly, it's kind of a pain. The one thing I do love about this pack though is that it does have an aluminum frame, and that's what drove me to this, because I really needed that extra support. I don't have the best back, so having that extra support is really helpful. But you can see I really struggle with getting this out, just to get to the camera and the gear and everything like that. And if you're trying to mess with that in a rush or in a landscape that's not super clean, it's kind of muddy like I was in recently, then it just becomes a hassle trying to get to it. The waterproof zippers are nice. I've definitely gotten this bag wet a few times, and it has plenty of mesh pockets, things like that, that are really helpful. I think you can even put a water bladder in this, so there is plenty of room for sure. Extra pockets there, some keychain things. And the material, like I said, the material is all waterproof, and it actually does not come with a rain cover. So you kind of have to rely on this. I use an Osprey Pack rain cover for this, and it fits it just fine. Got another waterproof zipper there. The other problem that I have with this bag is it does not have water bottle holders. So it's kind of frustrating because if I want a water bottle, I have to either keep it inside the bag or on the outside of the bag. I've hung it on the outside of the bag before. It has tripod straps there, but the tripod hangs it just hangs as a dead weight, so it's not ideal. And here are the ICUs. Here's an up close look. And they are fairly large. You can put a lot of them in, but you can put a lot of stuff in them, but this is the only size ICU you can put in this bag. And I believe you can do this one in a smaller one, but this is the largest one that you can put in there. So next up, we're going to talk about the Tenba BYOB bag inserts. These things are fantastic so far, and we're going to put them into an Osprey Pack, Kestrel 38. And it is fantastic, and you can see that I've kind of worked out how I want each pack to fit into the bag itself, and they actually worked out pretty well. I've been really impressed with the Tenbas, and we'll see how they fit here in just a second. Okay, so they have the 7, 9, 13, and 10. And we can see this is the 13, which is huge. It's a fairly large bag. It can fit a attached 70 to 200 in there, and you can see it just kind of drops in there. That's without the body, of course, because I'm filming with the body, but it does fit perfectly in there with some room to spare. You can fit a 70 to 200 with the lens hood attached too, which is pretty neat. This is the 10, and this is probably my favorite sized one here. We can see that it fits right in there, and it will fit with a body attached too, which is fantastic. I really enjoy using this one and put it in my bag the most. It has these little loops on it so you can hang it. Here is the 9. This is a little bit smaller. I usually keep all my like miscellaneous stuff in there, my filters and whatever else, you know, some extra lens cloth, stuff like that. The 7200 fits in there a little bit. Not quite though, it won't fit, it'll only fit lengthwise. So not height-wise, there we go. Something like that. And here is the 7. These things are perfect little guys. You can just they just fit anywhere really. It has a little flap there. You can kind of, as a divider, which is kind of interesting. The 7200 just won't fit. It might fit like that if you squeeze it in there, but I just wouldn't fit. It wouldn't fit with the lens collar on there or anything like that. And here is the second color option that they have. I have both colors. Just in case you're interested in what they look like. I like both colors, they're great. The blue is fantastic too. It really complements the black. So now let's see how these bags fit into an Osprey Kestrel 38, which is a backpacking bag. And I chose this backpack because I needed back support, and I've been using Osprey packs for over 10 years now, and they've always fit me really well. And they've been the most comfortable packs that I have ever used. So I chose to go with the backpacking pack that I had previously, and it has been the most comfortable bag that I've used for my camera gear as of yet. and I'm really happy that I did it. Obviously, it's probably not the most practical thing to use for street photography. Obviously, the Lowepro bag would be more appropriate there, but as far as like hiking around in the hills and whatnot with weight, the Osprey suspension system is fantastic, and I really feel that the load is distributed a lot better than, say, the F-Stop bag that has a support system in it, but it's just not that great. Osprey builds their backpacks around that suspension system, around that frame, and they're pack makers first, and you load everything in, whereas F-Stop caters to camera equipment, stuff like that first, and then support and comfort second. And that really shows. Let's see how the Tenba fits into the Osprey Pack. So here is the Osprey Pack. And you can see it hugs my back a lot more. It just fits nice tight. It's got a nice mesh thing. These things are very comfortable. I'm telling you, these are way more comfortable than any camera bag I've ever tried. It's adjustable, which is fantastic. The only downside is that these packs aren't necessarily carry-on ready, so they are a few inches over this Osprey Pack, so you could potentially have to check it, but I've never heard of anyone, at least all the reading that I've done, no one's ever really had a problem with that, especially if you're flying legacy carriers like Delta or United. It's not ever really a big deal as far as I understand. Although I haven't flown with this pack, so I couldn't tell you firsthand. But I've flown with the other two, and those were fine. So here we have a bottom, a lot of the same rain cover, a lot of the same accessories and features that the camera packs had, except this pack is legit, and it is built for trails. It's great, and it has the Osprey, obviously, their guarantee, which is the Mighty guarantee, which is just absolutely fantastic and unbeatable in a lot of ways. Anything happens to the pack, you can send it back, and they will replace it. All right, so the Tenba 9 fits perfectly in the bottom of the pack, which is great. And like I said, I put my case filters in there, all the miscellaneous stuff fits great. And it's fairly easy to get to. All of this material is fairly water resistant, and it comes with a rain cover, so nothing's gonna get nasty. This pack is one of the Osprey packs that has a side opening. So like a lot of camera packs, it does have a side opening, and it's easy to get to the internal compartment there. And that is the Tenba 10. And the 13 does fit in here, but it does fill up a lot of space. These are the two 7s on top. And you just kind of pack it in there, and it's pretty easy. And there it is, just all packed up, ready to rock. And here it is one more time with the 9 on the bottom, easy peasy, easy access. And then we have the 10 on the side. Easy. Fits great. It absolutely fits great. And I'm so excited to use this all the time now, even if it is a little ridiculous. Two 7s up top, and those fit great too. You can fit your drone or whatever you want in those. And the F-Stop does offer these buckles as a separate purchase, and I think they're around $15, but they can attach to the Osprey bag, and this is where I like to carry my tripod. I just bought this canvas, I don't know, it's like a beverage holder, and attach it there. And you can also put the canvas beverage holder in the side pocket here, or the water bottle holder there, to kind of protect the mesh from the tripod. There's a couple different configurations that I've found that work with the tripod, and I'll show those in just a second. I'll be modeling those. Yeah, there I am. And those are the two configurations, and it basically just acts as a tripod cup. And then for a bonus, I thought I would just throw in another Osprey pack that I had that is just it's an Archeon 25 liter, so it's a little, it falls in between the Lowepro and the F-Stop, and it's just kind of your normal backpack, you would say. It does have a little bit of back support in it. It has like a plastic frame in it, And I love this bag. It's canvas, and it just, it's really easy. It doesn't have side openings or anything like that. It's a pretty just top loader pack, pretty typical top loader pack, but it's really nice. And then you can see just how the Tenba packs fit into those, or the bags, bring your own bags, fit into this bag. There it is. It's all canvas, and I love that. It's, yeah, it's a roll top, so the 7s fit right up top there, easy access. Just a nice day if you want to just take your drone out or whatever, or your camera, whatever you want to load stuff in. And then that's the 10, and it fits right in the bottom. 2 10s would fit perfectly in this thing too, but it's just not a huge pack, but really something that I think is practical to carry around in an everyday situation. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed and learned something about these packs. I'm sorry if it was long-winded, but I really wanted to get as much information about backpacks in there as possible. I know it's a big consideration when you're trying to figure out which features to get. And for me personally, I decided to go with comfort over convenience. And I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but for me, backpacks like F-Stop bags that scream convenience or just kind of focus around camera gear, carrying that camera gear, don't necessarily mean the most comfortable of bags. So I decided to go comfort, and I am really happy that I did. Also, the cost of camera bags, standalone camera bags, can be really expensive. And on top of that, you have ICUs that are even more expensive. And so you really have to weigh your options, whether just going with something like an Osprey Pack or a backpack with these kind of sized, Tenba sized inserts can really make a difference as far as how you stack your equipment and how efficient you can be as a photographer, depending on what you're photographing. So anyways, as always, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.